Welcome to the Mind Body Energy Project. Hello. Happy new moon.
Oh, is today the new moon?
Today is the new moon.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday, Mercury went retrograde. It's all of that.
Yeah, I've seen everybody posting about Mercury, but I didn't realize that we were at the new moon already. Jeez Louise.
New moon in Pisces. So happy birthday, by the way, to all of our beautiful Pisces out there.
I thought you were saying happy birthday because like the renewing of like spring and stuff, but that's PTSD from this event I went to a week ago, which was interesting.
What?
We all got reborn at this shamanistic workshop I went to. It was interesting.
Are you going to share or no?
Well,
What? Wait, I'm sorry. What? Oh, you love spreadsheets. Is that what your mug says?
yeah, it's a dorky mug.
Uh-huh.
But I do. I love spreadsheets. It was a gift. Somebody gave it to me because they know I love spreadsheets. So
I know you do.
I got this like instant cold on my way home from work. I was fine. And then I walked outside in this like misty rain, cold San Diego winter that will not end. And something happened. So bear with me.
Honey, we are going to bear with you. And just for people in podcast land to know, today is the day of our community discussion. So hopefully the community shows up. Today is our final installment of joy. Only on the podcast. We're going to keep it going in real life, okay?
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, because like we were saying to the Patreons, well, you guys know what happened to us this week.
Yeah. Hi, Josh. Josh is here.
Yeah, my video is frozen on the phone, so I don't know. Can you guys see us okay? Can you guys hear us okay?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I've got another screen open and yeah, we're good. Good
So
to
it's
go.
just my phone that's problematic?
Yeah, but we got to take you to the phone store anyways, right?
Yeah, let's say don't take me out of my joy right now.
I was going to say we could put you in your joy if we were just to take care of things, right?
Have you been to the phone store? Good gracious.
I find joy in resolution and I like it immediate. And I like to sit in powwow style until the resolution is found. I know that's unrealistic, but I am admitting my faults.
It's not a fault. It's not a fault. So, well, backing up to what we were saying a moment ago, I feel like this is why also I'm like, God, this is kind of a slow, feels like a ooey gooey start. But listen, Mercury is in retrograde in Pisces, and today is the new moon in Pisces, and the sun is in Pisces. So we are inundated with the energy of the dreamer. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's be very careful, everyone, not to merge too much with each other and get lost in each other's energy and emotion throughout this conversation.
That makes a lot of sense. Why I couldn't focus at work today. I mean, I could. It was just very challenging. I was off in dreamland quite a bit.
I feel like I was just like a air flight attendant giving everyone instruction before we take off. Yes. Please manage your energy.
Yeah. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. You have such a good stewardess, airline attendant voice. Yeah.
I've been flying solo since 7. I have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Kristen's here. Yes. They're all coming in.
Hey, Stano, you keep freezing on me. Yeah, it's freezing on my side too, on my phone, not on my computer. So I don't know what that's about.
Well,
but Tiffany's not having that problem, so I don't know what is happening.
Yeah, I've got other problems. That's not one of them.
Okay, so let's see. I think one of the things just to point out in this, I actually just recorded the video for my newsletter as well, talking about the energy of this month. But just like a reminder to have patience with yourself and others while we are in this energy. Okay? Josh said, as John Lennon said, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Yes. Yes, it is a beautiful
we're all
energy.
in this together.
Yep. Acknowledge your dreams and acknowledge the aspect of you that is the dreamer.
So I am really curious what went on in the communities world this past week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys
what happened with joy for everybody?
Yeah, please tell us.
Did you find it? Did you have to seek it out?
Why didn't you send it to us?
Yeah. Did you just wake up in it every morning?
Yeah. Did you guys have any practices that helped you, or were you just even more aware this week of if you were in or out of? And did you guys do any gratitude journaling?
I thought about it.
Well, oh, really? You thought about it? The person who told us we had to write, you thought about it?
I know. And I admit fully, full disclosure, I had to listen to our podcast twice this week. I listened to it twice. And each time I heard that, I was like, oh, yeah. I got to do that. And I got caught up in stuff. But I was very mindfully aware of thinking about joy and trying to infuse it in areas that were lacking the joy.
Well, I can dig it. I mean, I'm not going to go too into it because, we talked about it on our bonus content or Dear Diary, whatever it is called. But I found it very interesting that my challenge with being in my joy was because I was physically tired. And so I really think that highlighted for me, again, like that interconnectedness of our mind, body, energy, and how we have to be in harmony with our entire system in order to really, truly be able to harmonize overall.
Yeah.
Are Josh, you blinking slow?
Me? No, I don't think so.
Or is it the computer?
Man, I'm tired. I think it's the computer. Josh said that he used music to find his joy, and he also keeps a gratitude journal. That's a good point, Josh. I find music and joy. What? I find joy in music. Oh, man. My circuits got real crossed on that drive home. I don't know what happened.
Who does a podcast on the first day of retrograde?
Yeah, right? And I have this guitar that sits over here in the corner of my room, and it collects dust most of its life. But
maybe that's why our electronics are messed up too.
What?
I'm sorry, because like you're just like something is happening.
Oh, well. You go ahead and breathe. But I don't play the guitar very well. I desperately want to be able to play it, but I did pick it back up and found a little bit of joy of even trying to just like work my way into this passion that I have to play the guitar. But then my fingers hurt and I realized I suck and whatever.
Well,
but
what do you like about it?
I like the end result that's in my mind, that I'd actually be able to play a song and sing along with it. So I've got a long way to go. Very, very, very long way to go. However, the first step is the hardest, right? And then the second hardest step is practicing. And that's been a problem my entire life. However, yes, music, joy.
But isn't that true for like most things that we do? It's so funny you say it. Reminds me of like, we love the idea of the end result, but the process, not always the greatest. But that's what oftentimes too, we have to just like find what is our motivation, like how bad do you really want to play that song? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And what if you can never listen to that song ever again unless you played it on your own? Josh said, I created a playlist of songs that you can't not be happy to. I titled it Find My Joy.
Oh, I love that. Did you do that this week, Josh, because of this challenge?
I love that.
It's a challenge to find joy.
Yeah. Well, it was a challenge.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, that's really cool. I wonder if he did.
I know. Find my joy.
We're all the way frozen on my phone. I don't know.
I wonder what I would put on that playlist. Let me check.
So we were thinking about too, also wanting to talk to you guys today about the energy of joy as it relates to even like right now. He said yes, he did.
Sweet.
Very
good.
cool.
I'm glad that this was an inspiration to do so.
I want to do that because we were talking about, again, in our Patreon, I mentioned someone used to sing a song about joy vibrations, and I think they must have made it up because I couldn't find it on Google. So this is a good alternative to make my own playlist of songs that make me happy.
I started a karaoke list.
A what?
A karaoke list, songs to sing in the car.
A what?
Like really good karaoke songs, but you sing them in the car.
Okay, so you do know karaoke. I thought you were saying karaoke, but I just made the connection in the car, karaoke.
Yeah. I made it karaoke.
What? This is why I translate her for everyone.
It's true. It's true.
I love you so
Oh
much.
man.
We are a wreck today.
I
So
know.
note to self, do not record during retrogrades. But no, on a high note, in the Joy Factory, let's have a Joy Factory. We were really thinking about, honestly, like this energy of spring and like renewal and like all this new energy and, you know, what we're doing with it. Like, have you guys been feeling inspired at all lately? Because you know how there's this expectation that we should all feel so inspired or whatever in January because it's the new year.
Yeah.
But you know, for some of us, it doesn't kick until later. But
Yeah.
how have you guys been feeling lately, like in general? Do you have new ideas? Are you going in new directions? Are you trying new things? Like, what's bringing you joy?
What's bringing me joy is the thought of winter being over and spring starting.
Yeah.
That's the damn truth. But as you were saying that, I looked up on my phone. I took a screenshot of this Instagram page that I saw, and what it said on it was, when you're in a dark place, sometimes you tend to think that you've been buried. Perhaps you've been planted, bloom. So it kind of made me think of like, you know, this like coming out and coming into our joy by blooming, because we've been like underneath the surface doing all of this work.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me too of the quote. It's longer than this part that is known, but the part of it that's often requoted is the one about they tried to bury us. They didn't realize we were seeds or something like that.
Oh, I've never heard that. I like that.
Oh, yeah. It's much longer, but that's the piece of it that people tend to post. And that's what it feels like sometimes, like when we feel like we are in crap, like we feel just like run down, beat up, like run me over. But we don't realize in those moments really our resilience and what is stirring in the discomfort that we're about to come out of and bloom into.
Yeah.
Which, you know, let's see. Josh said Mercury retrograde is messing you up. Yeah, it is. And Cheryl says, I've been great until yesterday. I've been tired for no apparent reason.
New moon.
Honey, listen, it's so funny you said that, Cheryl. I just said that, mentioned it in the newsletter video that I just recorded. It makes me think of all of the Pisces. Every Pisces I know in my life, honey, you talk about people who like to nap. Not all of you, don't like blow up my email, but the ones I know, honey, sleepy, they like to nap. But yeah, it made me think of like, oh, this dreamy energy, and then the retrograde, and then today's the new moon. Again, sun, moon, Mercury, all of it in Pisces today. I was like, I think I should be either really confused or really sleepy or not sure if I'm really here. Is this a dream? Like, is this even
I feel all those things.
Yeah.
Huh.
And people think that we're not connected to the universe, honey.
No.
Today is like proof. We have evidence of it.
It is. And to be honest, like I'm not a true Mercury retrograde believer in the way that most people utilize it. I understand it, but I believe it today because I'm seeing it.
I'm seeing it in this computer activity.
Yeah.
Something is off. But yeah, I like to think of retrogrades. Like I never freak out of like, oh my God, Mercury retrograde. Oh, no, I really, for me, I think like, oh, what's going to come back into my awareness to revisit. And because it's in Pisces, it makes me think of like really being aware of my dream state. Like I wonder if, you know, old memories, old energies, old things will present themselves in my dream state to be reprocessed or, you know, whatever, translated or transformed in new ways. Josh said, I've been extremely inspired. The challenge is working on not taking on too much.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That will lead to burnout. Been there.
How many times? Josh, I seriously, because I do the same thing. I'll get like really inspired to do a lot of things, or I'll be inspired to create a lot of things. And so I'll have these cycles where I have to tell myself like one thing at a time, just focus on one thing at a time. And then I'll come out of that loop because I think I could do it all. And then crazy maker.
Yeah.
Takes me out of my joy. But imagine if you like really are inspired by something and you pour all of your energy into that thing and nurture it and see it developing. Woo, it's so exciting. If you could really, I think, also think or recognize that other things don't disappear just because you don't give your attention to them right away. I think that's what I have to like dance with in my head, is recognizing, oh, I want to do all these 20 things. Okay, well, they're not going to run away. I can go back to them after I at least finish one or two.
Yeah, that's a good point. I tend to think that like I pour all my energy in and I get like 2/3 of the way done and then something else comes up and then I do that. And so like there's all this unfinished business.
So distracted.
So distracted if she would just put finishing touches on the edits.
That's where I have to say, you guys, like, one, okay, I'm an only child. Well, kind of. And like with my podcasting, my business, everything, like it was a solo, like I did a lot on my own. So this past year of doing like collaborations and working with other people, it has really, really highlighted for me how much more you can get done through connections and partnership, and like the beauty that comes forward when we do connect with each other and support each other. And even just like this, just you guys like sharing your experiences, or this idea you just shared, Josh, about your playlist, your Find My Joy playlist. Look at how much inspiration comes from our connectivity and exchange.
Yeah.
That brings me joy.
And when I think of joy, I think of like raising the vibration, and the more people we get in a place too, like the more people that enter into a room or a space, like their energies come together, and it literally, you can't help but raise the vibration.
Yeah. Yep. Josh said, I just am so happy to be having so many ideas and dreams feel like they can become real. They're already real. That's one of the things that's fascinating to me. I think it was the end of last year. I kept getting guidance to do this class called Fabric of Creation. So I did it, and it was a 12-week class. And it was like right after I had just moved. I get like one of those moments of like, seriously, I'm doing this on top of, anyway, I did it. And there was one particular module in there that was specifically about our levels of consciousness, and how our dream state, speaking of Pisces energy, how our dream state is also real. It's just a different level of reality, a different level of consciousness. But we seem to only identify things as real if they're in material form, right? But we all know and understand that everything that we create out in the material started where? In a non-tangible, it started in our mind, it started in our thoughts, it started in our dreams, it started in that stirring, the energy, the non-physical passion that erupts out and motivates us to create the tangible. So anyway, I don't even know if that made sense, but Josh, I said to say, honey, it's already real. High five up top. Wow.
Well, and on the other side of that coin, Josh, since you suggested it, I had it on my docket to do for Mind Your Chakras, is diving into the 4 agreements. So I started reading it, and the way that they preface the beginning of the book, it's mostly about how everything is a dream. Like everything that we're living in is just a dream because we've created it in our minds, and then we see it out in the world as we live it.
I don't think I've ever read that book.
Oh my goodness, it's good.
I know, and if I did, it was a really long time ago. I need to check my bookshelf to see if I have it. It would seem ridiculous that I wouldn't, right? Hey,
so Emily's here. Hi, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
So she said, reclaimed my joy just yesterday. Congratulations. Thanks to you, lady. Aw, you're welcome. Stress had been getting me down, but listening to the podcast reminded me that I write my own story and create my own environment. Total game changer. Oh, yes, Emily, honey. That brings me so much joy.
Me too.
Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. I'm so happy that helped you.
See, again, like that whole thing of our connectedness and just like community and the beauty in our exchanges, like that is so crazy that is bringing me joy. Because if you would have asked me 10 years ago, the idea of connecting with people and my little introverted self, I'd have been like, nah, that's anything but joy. And it turned out to be my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Josh said, cool. Oh, Yolanda, read that book. I will.
Yeah, sure. You got to read it.
I wish I could show you guys. I could.
It's true. She's got a lot of books.
I'm
What
like
I'm doing is writing
living in
articles
books.
on each one of the 4 agreements, and then I'm going to make it into an Audible. So Yolanda, you can
I
watch
listen
your
to the
time.
Audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you guys know, like on my podcast, I've been interviewing people and they all happen to be authors lately. And so I have been reading, so like, can I just show you?
The woman's reading a lot of books.
This book that I'm reading right now for an upcoming interview. Look at this. Look at this beauty. Yeah.
Oh
so
my goodness.
I will listen to whatever Tiffany does on it, Josh.
Lighting the fire under my ass.
Yes. Hurry up. Hurry up.
I know.
So I want to know too, because when we did the podcast, it was pre-recorded and we didn't get to hear from you guys. Like, what things bring you guys joy? Like, if you even think about that, like what comes to mind first without thinking too hard, like immediately? When you think joy, you think?
I think connection. Like just what Emily had said here, the fact that like, not just connection, like knowing that it's happening behind the scenes, but bringing light to it, like bringing it to the table, you know, like sharing our feelings, sharing our thoughts, sharing our emotions. Like we can be inspired and connected and be all here, but to connect even deeper, to actually like, I don't even think it's vulnerability, but it might feel that way to some people, but to like actually like express how you're feeling, that brings me joy.
Yeah, again, that's new for me. Like it does bring me joy now, but it took a while to get comfortable with that for me, or to even think about exploring that. And I love that she used the word reclaimed.
Yes.
You know, because it really speaks to our choice and that we can, you know, and that's one of the things I think I love so much about this work, and what makes it so empowering is that I think we forget along the way. And maybe it's because you know, from birth, you know, we're just conditioned to listen to everyone else's direction, what everyone else says we should do, which way to go, blah, 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 whatever, that we forget how much choice we have. So yeah, just that word alone, like reclaiming your own joy, honey, high five. Up top.
Yeah. And it is a total game changer.
Mm-hmm. Hello, what brings you guys joy? Well, share with us. We want to know. You know, it makes me have joy. I think about music. One, I love music in my car, probably most specifically. This connecting with people and just exchange really does bring me joy, and good food.
Yeah.
Oh, I love people. I dance when I eat. Mm-mm.
That's so funny. I love surprises. And even like what also brings me joy, like regarding surprises too, is like how, you know, Ellen, how she surprises everybody. Okay, so she scares them, but they're also surprises. But I love that brings me so much joy.
I feel like such a weirdo because I hate surprises. I love presents, but I hate surprises. I'm like, I want to know what my gift is up front, even. I'm like, just tell me what it is. Just tell me. I'll still be really happy. I promise.
Okay, Josh says, other than music, I enjoy learning new things and gaining more knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys about that too. Like where you are in this and what's coming up for you. Because I know like Josh and even Cheryl, honey, they are jumped in. They like jump whoop, into the rabbit hole. So have you guys noticed that, like this whole is it overwhelming or is it exciting to have like all of these curiosities and different things to research? And how does that feel for you guys?
For me, it feels like both. I get really excited and then I dive deep into the information and I get overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do here?
Yeah.
And I feel like somebody needs to send a search party and help me find my way out.
It kind of reminds me too of like coming back to presence of mind, because I get very excited too. And then I have 20 different things I either want to read or look at or do or whatever. And in that moment, when I think about the laundry list, then I can click into overwhelm. And then all of a sudden the joy is robbed because I'm freaking myself out about how much there is, you know, that I want to do. Whereas if I come back into presence of mind, again, I can focus on one thing at a time, shelf everything else, and just be excited about that thing. Cheryl said, music for me too. I I'm tired and still at work, so I can't think. Honey, understood.
Yeah, I'm tired and home for work and I can't think.
Honey, I feel like I'm still at work. I can't think either. Cheryl also said, my family brings me joy, specifically time with my grown kids and new grandbabies. Have free time to do things for myself also brings me joy. Bet you sound really busy. And Josh said,
Josh just outed me.
Tiffany finds joy with spreadsheets and flowcharts. Did you see her coffee mug?
Was it my mug? Is that why? I did not mean to sell myself down the river with it. It's just the first mug I grabbed. We got to get some MBE mugs here so that I can stop being outed as a total nerd. Hi, Bryn. Welcome.
We should get some mugs and ink pens.
Yeah.
Do you guys want t-shirts?
Yes.
Do you want an MBE mug? I want one. I'm sorry, I'm fidgeting around. My computer, Apple is so funny. It's like, your computer is hot. Close Zoom to cool it off. Can't close Zoom. I just put on a little fan, so hopefully that works. Hopefully it's not disruptive. Hi, Bryn.
Oh, Josh heard about my love for spreadsheets on a previous podcast. Well, you pay good attention, and here is some proof of it. Nerd.
Oh, whatever.
It's okay. I'm okay with it.
You're so precious. So another thing too, like with all the joy, and something we did talk about behind the scenes because of what we experienced in the week. Like I told you guys, I noticed it was hard for me to, like, I had moments I enjoyed, but it was hard for me to stay on the frequency of joy because I was physically tired. Did you guys notice throughout this week anything that challenged your joy, or like if you were feeling not aligned with the joy, was there any particular reason that stood out for you?
I'll share my reason why I couldn't stay aligned with joy. Thanks to Yolanda, she pointed it out for me.
I did?
Yeah. We're doing the Mind Body Energy Project, and she said, girl, you got the body part down, the energy down, but she's like, you've got to work on that mind. And I'm like, I know. So for me, I can meditate and I can get my brain straight when I'm thinking about stuff, but it does run off on its own a lot of times, and a lot of times without me noticing that it's doing it. So before I can even rein it back in, I'm off on some other continent thinking about something and fretting about it.
Making up all kinds of stories. That's why I said it to her. Honey, you were talking about someone making up stories. Hi, me, Tiffany. Like, girl, how did you even come to that conclusion? What?
I don't even know. That's
why I love you. Yeah, but that's the beauty too of like really acknowledging where, we are out of balance for ourselves, because just like her, mine was, not just like her, but mine was different. Whereas Tiffany is all over the body aspect. Listen, she's like yogaed out. She eats like the best food on the planet, blah, blah, blah. She's got body down. Me, that's my challenge. My mind, I can wrangle that thing in. Emotion, yep, we're friends now. I can wrangle it in. The body stuff, like grounding, that's what I have to work on. Eating food that isn't like candy bars. I need, so it's like me and my body, we're in a serious negotiation so I can be like fully aligned.
Yeah, well, this is why we balance each other so well.
I know. Josh said, other people seem to be in very bad moods when I was at my highest levels of joy.
My question is, Josh, did you find yourself in those situations subconsciously to maybe challenge your joy?
What was interesting too, when he said that, it made me think of, I wonder, like, when we're in, we talk about you don't have to match someone's frequency, right? So if you're down in the muck with someone, you probably don't even recognize how mucky it is because you're down in it. So like when you lift up and you're like in your joy, probably what you are seeing any other day just seems exaggerated because you're not down in the same frequency. You know what I mean? So it's like your perspective is different because you're in a different frequency yourself and functioning from a different lens.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's see what he says about that. Emily says, attachment. I was placing too much value in a new role at my job and not recognizing that I have worth regardless of my title. Honey.
That girl.
Hey, yes, honey, tell everybody, say it again.
Yeah.
I have worth regardless of my title. Woo!
Yep.
Honey, that speaks across the board to everybody.
It does. Yeah. And that's one of the things I think we forget, that comes with this package. Like we come out into the world, like you have worth, and it's all these other things and stories and lies and reflections around us that take away that, or they don't even take it away. They just kind of cover up that truth that we have worth.
Yeah. It's weird because we really do. Well, I don't do it, but a lot of people really do like categorize and either value or devalue people based on what they do or based on what their interests are, and like all of these very surface level things. And it's like, you have no idea. One, the truth is at the core of it all, we're all an aspect of the divine. You can't get more worth. Like that's the most valuable thing there is, you know, like that in of itself. Like you come from the most valuable thing and exist. Like you can't even compare it to anything, right? But we, in our minds, we do. Like we make these judgments. We, value or devalue people in so many ways for surface crap, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Man, the human experience, huh?
But
so glad she caught it for herself.
Yeah. Cheryl says, I have been full of energy and excited, but I do tend to overwhelm myself when diving into new territory, trying to read everything. I've been all over the place reading and studying about the different modalities and all the possibilities. I blame Raven's book. However, my oracle card took the wind out of my sails yesterday, even though I knew it already, coupled with this lack of energy. And all of a sudden, I definitely need to just chill and let it flow.
This is the book she's talking about, everyone. Cheryl actually recommended this book and suggested that I interview this woman. And so I did, actually. And this book is amazing. But to what she's saying, the beautiful thing is, and I think what I started to recognize after wanting to ingest everything, right? I went through a cycle where I crashed because I was ingesting more information than I could process. So I like hit a wall and kind of just went into this like weird state of like, I don't want to touch anything. And then even in another way, sometimes when we do a lot of energy work, like I was doing Reiki, I was doing like more energetic classes than you can imagine. So what I was doing is I was shifting my energy like drastically and at rapid speeds, felt good for 2 seconds, and then crashed because my mind had to catch up with the way my energy was shifting. You see what I mean? So yeah. I think a lot of us do that, but I mean, it's not right or wrong. It just.
I think I've spoke about this before, the particular yoga that I do. The ideology behind it is that you train for 21 or 48 days every single day, 2 times a day if you have the opportunity, and you do nothing else but yoga, and you do for however long you do it for, and then you don't do yoga at all. You step completely away from it for like a week or a month, depending on how long you do it for, in order to let the changes integrate into your body, because you can't keep on putting all of that energy into the physical form or the mental form. You know, it has to take this period of incubation time where it like can start to integrate itself in.
And don't worry about what to do with all of it too, I would say, because a lot of times we take in stuff and we learn stuff and then our mind goes automatically into, what do I do with this? We have some obligation tied to now holding this like new information. And the truth is, whatever you're ingesting, even if you think you're not remembering it all consciously, it will come back around into life. So an example of that is like the conversations Tiffany and I have. If you notice, like a lot of times in the podcast, we reference things from like old classes or old books or old whatever. So it's like the information, it serves a purpose, even if we don't know what it is in the moment of ingestion.
Yeah. It's accumulating into our experience, and it's almost like we're taking that information and then we take it out into the world. And because we have the knowledge in our subconscious, we start to live through the world because it's in there. And then we start to see how it comes back to us. And then at some point, all of these bits of information that are all over the place, they at some point will converge. And then that's kind of like that moment where you're like, oh, this is it. This is where I belong. This is what it was all for.
Totally. So yeah, I'm excited I'm glad that you guys do share what your experiences are with us. One, because it's fun to hear what people's experiences are, but it also, I think it reminds both of us of things that we've already studied or experienced, but looking at all of these things from a new lens. And that's a thing too, like you'll come to find no matter what you study, no matter what you read, you start to see that connection and similarity. It just gives you, I think the beauty in reading a lot of different things or studying different modalities is they give you the opportunity to look at the same thing, but from various angles.
Yeah.
So it just broadens your perspective and deepens your understanding.
I agree with that for sure.
Josh said, no, they were really upset. It didn't change my level of joy. I just had to work harder at keeping a higher level. Yeah. But there'll come a day where you don't even have to work hard at it. You'll just be like, interesting. That's good stuff though, Josh. Yeah. Cheryl said, I tell myself that I don't need to know it all right now. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true. Because the point with that, because I have to do the same thing, Cheryl. The point with that is because you're still digesting all of the other information, and also like until some of that stuff is digested, the information that you might be trying to accumulate might not. It will be a different translation of the information later once this other stuff is digested. Does that make sense? Can you translate for me, Yolanda?
No, because when you
damn it. I thought that's what you were here for.
No, because at the tail end of what you said, my mind zoned out.
Away.
Yes, honey.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay.
The ground.
Well, what I was okay, she gets it. Thank you, Cheryl. I don't have to explain myself.
Good high
Thank
five
you,
up top.
Yeah.
My mind zoned out at the very tail end of it, and it reminded me of I'm sorry, honey, Cheryl. It reminded me of now this might sound out there. I hope you guys forgive me today. Like, please. Okay? But so last week or sometime, I was reading one book, and while I was reading this one book, something came into my mind, into my awareness, to grab another book and go to a very specific page of this other book. Now, when I went to go get that book that I was guided to get, it had little sticky tabs, highlights. I didn't even remember that I had read that book in that much detail. Do you know what I mean? So this was a book that I read years ago. Cheryl, if you asked me what the book was about, I couldn't tell you to save my life. And meanwhile, something years later led me right back to that book. So we also have interesting things like that too. Like there was this modality that I took, and immediately after I was like, I don't know why I took that class. I still kind of can't really tell you why I took that class. However, there have been experiences much later that come back around, and I go like, oh, that one thing that teacher said, or oh, this one exchange with someone in class. You see what I mean? It's interesting that we never know, again, like what we're ingesting, how it will support us at a later time.
Well, and it also calls to mind to pay attention in those moments, because I've been in situations where I'm like, what am I doing here? And it may be something completely unrelated to whatever this situation is, like whatever the class was or the workshop, like it was completely unrelated to the information, but it was a connection with somebody.
Yeah. Yep. And that has happened to me a lot. Josh said, is there a way to transform negative energy into joy? That's an interesting question. From my point of view.
Just kidding.
Black tourmaline.
I said black tourmaline.
Yeah. One thing for me is I personally don't look at energy as bad or good.
Yeah.
Because really, even like the idea of bad or good, I mean, they're really the same thing on just like opposite ends of the same scale. Tiffany and I talked about that in one of our old Patreons. You can go back to it, Josh. What was that
It was with the
Kabayan.
Kabayan.
Yeah, I forget what we were talking about, but anyway, the point is like, first of all, if you look at something from a neutral stance, like what we would normally categorize as bad or negative, and you take off that like judgment or labeling at it and see it just that in of itself already like changes the frequency just through your perception of it. And if you're feeling an energy or frequency or feeling that doesn't feel great, yeah, but that feeling is present for a reason. So, you know, it's like, be really careful with like thinking of like negative or bad, because we tend to want to avoid something that we think of that way, when really, if it's something, especially in your own space, you have an opportunity to look at it and heal it and transform it through your forgiveness, your change in perspective, like understanding it differently, so many different ways. So yeah, I think it's possible for what you're saying. But I also think you can transform anything. I mean, energy just is, it's freaking malleable. You know what I mean? Like, you can transform anything.
And transform is really just another word for, oh my God, my brain hurts. I was thinking like adjective or verb, but I can't think anymore. But I was thinking transform is the same as perception, you know, because it's really like you transform something by way of your perception. What? Oh my God, why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm laughing at us this whole night.
So hard. It's so hard.
Sorry. But yes, no, that makes sense, babe.
Kathleen said, and all this time, hi Kathleen, I miss you. And all this time I thought it was the universe reminding me of my age. I'm always thinking, why am I here? You're here because you bring so much joy to my life and many other people's, but I want to be selfish. And Kathleen is my heart.
Aww.
We worked together for a very long time. And then
look at the joy on your face. Look at that, Kathleen. Like, just your presence lit that whole situation up over there across from me. And by default, look, it lit me up too. Do you see that?
Yeah, because we are all mirrors of
each other.
We're all reflections.
Nikki said, yes, black tourmaline is my favorite. And Nikki also told Josh to send love to it. And Cheryl said, you guys are great. I love this. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Because I was like, oh no.
We need the support right now.
We do. But, you know, listen, I'm so glad. It's like at this point, I don't know how long we've been doing the Mind Body Energy Project, but maybe almost a year, not quite.
No.
But it does feel like at this
8
point
months.
when we come talk to you guys, it feels like just family or friend. Like, you know, it's comfortable. It doesn't feel so serious.
Oh God, Josh said this is the best. I'm glad that you guys are loving this, because I'm really feeling like we are not sure what is going on right now.
But we are here and we are all together. Oh, you guys want to know something? I was just thinking about, I wish I had a grounding crystal near me right now, but everything I have around me is like
my bowl of crystals is just like 3 more arms lengths away.
Well, I have crystals around me, but they're not ground. Look at this. Look at apophyllite. This isn't going to ground anybody. Nothing is going to ground
And
me.
she wonders why she can't be in her body, people. Okay?
Over there. Yeah. Anyway, but you guys, let me tell you something. A lot of people do have a lot of questions about crystals, and I have never really like studied them, so to speak, because I'm more of an experiential person. I just kind of grab it, see what I feel called to, and then play with it. And then I may read about it later. I operate backwards. But this book, seriously, if you guys are crystal people, I've only read 15 pages and I've learned so much. I'm like, I can't even believe it. Yeah. And now I need some grounding crystals in my life. So if anybody has recommendations, please put
Black tourmaline.
Is that really just grounding?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Transmutes negative energy to positive.
I'm gonna get.
It really depends on how you perceive it. So
I think people get that for protection too, don't they?
Yeah.
And doesn't it have something to do with
hematite? Airplanes?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm thinking. I feel like I've heard. Anyway, sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say. Please share it.
Hematite is a good grounding.
I think I have. That's the shiny gray one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Josh said, it shows you are as human as the rest of us. Heck yeah! Josh, we've been saying that for day one, okay? We don't pretend at all. We are 10,000% in our practice.
Amen.
Huh. And while, you know, some things get easier.
I feel like I have to get my bowl of crystals now. I'm going to see if I can do this without.
Do you guys feel like you're just like coming to our living room visiting us tonight? This is our new moon ceremony. Do you guys do new moon ceremonies?
Is that what's happening right now?
Are you guys doing new moon rituals tonight?
These are grounding. I don't know what these are called, but you just like, they're like the Chinese
yin yang balls.
Yeah.
I think they're yeah. I have those.
So this is my bowl of crystals.
Oh, shungite.
Yeah, shungite. You had a dream about that or something, right?
Here's my shungite.
Obsidian.
Nikki.
Yep,
Wait,
obsidian.
honey, you have to remember that people are listening to this on a podcast too, so you might want to be descriptive.
Sorry. I'm showing them crystals.
Can you believe some people listen to this without watching?
Tekatite, something like that. Okay.
Well, the shungite, Nikki, you guys, a few years ago, I woke up out of my sleep, and the first thing I yelled out, shungite. And I didn't even know it was a real thing. And I Googled it and found out it was a rock or a mineral. I don't know if it's, I don't know what category it is.
It's good for EMF.
But years ago, and I literally just got this piece of it last month. And I still don't know what it's for. I need to look it up.
People put it in their water.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know.
Cheryl said, yes, I'm super interested in the crystals too, of course. Josh said, yes, I am. Nikki said, yay. And Cheryl said, I did the box today that you talked about in your free class. And Cheryl is cracking up at us. Listen, we must look real crazy. The box. The Reiki box. The intention box. Oh, because of the new moon. Yes.
Right.
Yes. It is so cool to have I have a lot of boxes, but this one has my pendulum in it. But before it was the home of my pendulum, it was a intention box. And I would just stick little intentions in there and then hold it in my hands and, infuse it with Reiki. And I did it because it was such a little one. And doesn't it look like I dream a genie? It's purple and gold and.
Yep. I love it.
Gorgeous.
A great crystal helps water lines. Also, shungite can balance your chakras.
That's really cool. Thanks, Nikki. I guess I should meditate with this.
Yeah.
I'll keep you guys posted with what happens. Cheryl said yes for the new moon. So speaking of that, I know I asked a minute ago, but are any of you doing new moon rituals tonight? Are you setting new intentions? And
I'm going to.
What are you going to do? Or is it a secret?
I'm going to set intentions.
No, I mean, do you have a new intention you can share with us so we can all hold space for each other?
All my secrets?
No, just something that's not too secret. So
okay. This is actually a good one. I did this. I wrote it down, so I'm looking it up on my phone. I did an energy cleansing with my friend at her apartment, and we were both kind of going through some stuff that we put into our meditation and with our little crystals and stuff. And I wrote this one down because I want to remember it. And the intention is being able to move forward without the illusion of preparation.
And this is why I translate hurt. Wait, you just hurt the left side of my brain.
Now I'm self-conscious about the article that I wrote. That's 2,300 words because I feel like I'm gonna have to send it to you, or else everybody's gonna be like, "What's this bitch talking about?"
I love the way you articulate things. I do. No, I genuinely, I love it. What you said right now just seemed poetic to my brain, and because I'm in a fog, I just was like, "Wait, what?" So now you made me forget what you said, and I was really genuinely trying to figure it out.
I'll read it again. My intention is being able to move forward without the illusion of preparation.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because I think that's what makes us stuck so much. The crap we make up in our head of what we think we have to do before we can start. I know I have lived in the stuckness or fear and upset around what I thought I had to do first before I could actually take action. honey.
Brutal.
Woo, it's
Brutal.
too much.
It's like
Okay,
hard.
so I'm gonna hold space for you, friend. High five up top. Pow! What is everybody else? What are your intentions so we can all hold space for each other? Cheryl said, I can't remember the name, synchronicity. Nikki said, it's super helpful. Josh said, I did a journal for the new moon ceremony. Haha. And Nikki said, just found my Reiki box. Love it. Cheryl said, I did it before work this morning. And Nikki put light bulbs, ideas. Whoa, whoa. Okay, my intention for this moon is, what is my intention for this new moon in Pisces? New moon in Pisces. I would like to connect with some people to do some upcoming interviews that don't require me to read another book.
Yes.
Like, promise.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I would put another intention, since we're in Pisces energy and it's all about the dreamer, that the dreams become reality. So therefore, in my moon notebook, which I wish I could show you that, but that's like 2 bodies across my room. It actually has like moon, like a steel moon on the cover. It's really cool. But I guess I'm going to write down my dreams in that book so that the dreams are out there in order to become real.
I like it. Well, I just want to clarify too for my intention, since, you know, we spell cast at our mouth. Yeah. I do want to interview more authors in the future, just not at the moment, because I have a lot.
You've ingested too much
things. Yes, I ingested too much.
You need an ingestion break.
I need a break.
Yeah.
I need to digest this food.
That's right. Nikki said, intention to stay positive in my workplace. Good.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Stay positive in my workplace.
Yeah, because that could definitely drag you down. So keeping that intention alive.
One of the things that helps me with that, a trick with it, I just shared it with someone somewhere. But one thing I really do, like, this genuinely helps me, you guys. Sometimes when I am triggered and I'm in a space, like a place or engaging with someone, and I can't necessarily like go close my eyes and meditate and work it out, you know, I literally, with my eyes open, I just like take these very deep intentional breaths to ground into my body. So I breathe into like my sacral area, or the lower dandian, or the hara, whatever you call it. I breathe into my lower abdomen to first like ground, so my energy isn't like frazzled by whatever I'm feeling. And then once I feel like, okay, I'm in my person, I start breathing in the energy of love. Like I'm echoing the word love, like love, and feeling it move through my body as I breathe, and then expanding out into my field. It sounds like a long process, but it really isn't when you're doing it. And the more you do it, it's like you could do it very quickly, but that can be very helpful when we're in situations where we can't, you know, run away.
Yeah. So practice it when you're not in those situations so that you can get it into your field to act faster when you need it.
Yeah. Mr. Roboto, where'd you go?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Do I look like a robot?
You feel like you just zoned out.
I did.
I feel like this is the funniest thing of displaying how we started this conversation with like, oh, the sun, the moon, and Mercury are all in Perseus.
Yeah. Perseus. Wowzers. It's a good thing that we've like come up on an hour now, because I think we're going to have to just go to bed.
They're all in Pisces, and this is the result. And scene.
Yes.
We're glad that you guys showed up. We always
thank you
like,
so
you
much for participating.
Nights.
Yes.
We did say what we were going to talk about next, didn't we?
No, because we haven't even talked about it.
I thought we did.
We did?
Maybe we didn't.
Must have been a dream.
As soon as we know the truth, we will tell you guys. If you guys have suggestions, please let us know.
Yes.
Like something, maybe think about the energy of spring, right? This energy of spring, renewal, equinox, whatever, anything in that vein. Does that inspire a topic for you all that we can talk about next week?
Renewal. Oh boy, Josh is oh boy us. What about spring? Going to bed? What's a Reiki box?
A Reiki box is, some people buy boxes that are already fashioned, like the one I showed you, or you can create your own box. But it's a box that's just like what I said I do with that little one. So people will put their intentions in it. Some people use them to write down names of people that they're going to send healing energy to. So it's just like a container that you use kind of like as a, not a surrogate. What is the word? Come on.
Proxy?
No. Yes, you use it as like a proxy of sorts. And you can just hold the box to infuse Reiki energy to amplify the intention that you put in there, or the frequency of the healing energy for the names that you put in there. So people use them in all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
Oh. Man. Wow. Josh, we clearly need to connect with nature like right now, ASAP.
Yeah.
Even though it's dark outside, I want to either go like jump in the pool or walk through the
I wish there was a
garden
hot
barefoot.
spring I could jump in outside my door right now. That's
Just come
how I would like to
over.
connect
We can
with.
go in the hot tub.
I know.
Okay, well, we love you guys, and we
Yeah.
love the participation.
Yes, thank you so much for all of you being here and contributing. We are so grateful.
We really are.
Keep coming back.
We really are. Please come back. We're so sorry for today. Just please give us another chance. Let us redeem ourselves.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Adios, muchachas and
See y'all later.
muchachos. How do I?
I don't know. Turn it off quick.
I don't know.